President Biden dividing his party with his State of the Union address by trying to put another nail in the coffin for defund the police. Biden changing course after Democrats repeatedly called to cut funding for law enforcement.
The answer is not to defund the police. It's to fund the police. Fund them. Fund them. Fund them with resources and training. Resources and training they need to protect our communities.
But surprise, surprise, the squad not happy. Biden's speech, with the speech, Cori Bush tweeting this: "You didn't mention saving black lives once in this speech. All our country has done is given more funding to police. The result? 2021 set a record for fatal police shootings. Defund the police, invest in our communities." And AOC blasting Biden for leaving out key issues from the State of the Union.
I think there are some themes that left a little bit to be desired for key constituencies in the Democratic base, but the president's goal was very clear. He was laser focused on really projecting a theme of unity, and I think he stuck to that.
Greg, one thing on the State of the Union that really bothered me when he talked about defund the police is, one, it could have been done 2 years ago. But also, when he talked about the officers that were killed here in New York by that assassin at that domestic violence call, Officers Rivera and Mora. And within the same sentence, he says, so we must come together to protect our communities, restore trust, and hold law enforcement accountable.
Of course.
But that's not what happened in that case.
He says that after, I'm not going to let the media strategy of contrasting the squad with Joe Biden to somehow reconstitute the myth of his moderation, right? You got to give credit to the squad because they're stupid, they're wrong, they're unforgivable, but at least they're consistent to their principles. This jackass didn't do a thing when cops were being killed. When businesses were being burned, he hid in his basement, and only when it became politically expedient, when he was worried about losing an election, and now when an election is coming up, all of a sudden he's backing the blue because he felt it was better at the time, right, to embrace the woke orthodoxy that put BLM above law enforcement. That's what he did. So I'm sorry, when I see, CNN's recently purchased conservatives, those principled few supporting, oh, isn't this great? Look at him, such a good thing. You're an idiot. Because this guy was nowhere to be found. Lastly, the thing that gets me crazy is I know a lot of people are pissed off about these two Republicans that heckled. That's nothing compared to this cosplay that you see, the stand up and applause, the sit down. No matter how stupid Biden says something, people have to applaud. This is kabuki applause line theater, right? And we are expected as idiot Americans to go, oh, wow, everything coming out of his mouth is somehow majestic and moral and meaningful. Of course not. And by the way, both sides do this, right? But for some reason, it is more disgusting. Heckling is bad, but heckling is real. What we watched there was fake. And for anybody applauding him supporting law enforcement, you're an idiot.
Judge, on that, or
sorry.
Well, I got to tell you, Greg, I actually thought about that, and because it is theater. Politics is theater,
right?
Okay, and the guy, as he ran for president from his basement, didn't say a word when the streets were burning, and when he was president, didn't say a word. The Democrat National Committee, when they had their convention, didn't say a word. Now his numbers are in the tank, 37%. Oh, I want to fund the police. Okay, yes. That's nonsense. If you believe it, you're stupid. But the fact that they stood up and applauded, I really thought to myself, Janine, if I were there, would I have stood up and applauded? And, the intellectual part of me says you have to applaud that because we have to recognize, at least when he says it, he doesn't mean it. He doesn't believe it. He's a Trojan horse. We've got to recognize that this is who we are as Americans. We're a law and order society. Everything that came out of his mouth, I thought last night, and there were some polls that showed that even the independents were skeptical, not just the Republicans, but the independents were skeptical. And, when he talks about, funding the police and all of a sudden he's on the side of truth and justice, I mean, it's nonsense. Everybody knows it's nonsense. He came to New York and, he's going to stop the flow of guns. How are you going to stop the flow of guns if criminals keep getting out and getting guns? It's not about anything new. You got to prosecute the crimes. You got to change the law. You got to convict them and send their butts to jail. All right? It's theater. That's all it is. He abandoned the streets, and it's his fault.
I like how you agreed, disagreed, and then agreed with me.
No. I'm saying that you have to respect the fact that he
And we
said.
haven't had a chance to hear from Jesse, because Harold and I were on last night. But
Well, yeah, Biden doesn't even know how to capitalize off the kabuki theater.
Yeah.
He's giving them a standing ovation for backing the blue, and he just steps on it with his next sentence. Just soak in the moment, Joe. They're giving you a standing O. He did it again when they were chanting USA.
Yeah.
And he steps on it and starts reading the teleprompter. You got to let the USA chant go, bro. That said, he's just trying to sound like he likes the police. He's actually not trying to fight crime. See, there's a difference. If he wanted to fight crime, he would have talked about the gangs and the cartels and the soft DAs and the light sentencing and the bail. He didn't do any of that. He just tried to play defense with the squad. That's how you know he doesn't care about crime reduction. He just makes it out to be like a political wound that he's trying to put a bandage on. That's why I don't like the guy, because he actually doesn't want to do the right thing. He's just trying to sound like he's doing the right thing.
Okay, and I want to play the COVID is over soundbite. We haven't had a chance really to talk about this. We talked about lots of other things in the speech, but this was something that we picked up on last night as well.
Thanks to the progress we've made in the past year, COVID-19 no longer need control our lives. I know some are talking about living with COVID-19, but tonight I say that we never will just accept living with COVID-19. We'll continue to combat the virus as we do other diseases.
This was also theater. For weeks, they could have decided to make these, well, maybe even months, could have decided to back off on the masks, but it just magically happened, Harold, that just like the night before, they had to wear masks, and now all of a sudden they don't have to wear masks, but they did have to be socially distanced and also have assigned seats, but maybe not, but then give each other hugs. It was all nonsense to me on that front. But I'm glad we're back to normal.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a believer that maybe I'm stupid for believing some of the things that he has shared tonight. And
That wasn't directed at you, Harold.
But what I mean is, I like it when people change their mind about something. I like it, and I don't think that Biden has really changed his mind. Biden, remember, he authored the 1994 crime bill, the bill that got Hillary all jammed up and got
Him all jammed up, and they
jammed up. So he's been there a lot on
But
these
doesn't that
issues.
speak to the political shifting, that he was politically there, then he changes whenever it's politically expedient?
He didn't come out perhaps as emphatically as you may have wanted and others may have wanted in denouncing some things last summer. But he has never been one to say defund the police. Sometimes he kowtowed to some of these people in the squad.
How did we
and
end
some
up
of the
going from that to not making fun of them about masks?
Just make fun of him, Harold, please.
Look, I shared last night.
I said,
Dana and I last night, I thought the speech, I thought he missed some moments. The USA line, I could not believe he didn't let that chant keep
And it was
going.
the Democrats chanting it.
Yeah,
Exactly. I mean, the camera never got a chance to see Democrats doing it. But hey, speech is over now.
Would you like to comment on the theater of the masks?
No, but I love the line he said, I have a better idea to fight inflation. Lower your costs, not your wages. Is he aware that lowering your costs means firing people?
But this is a straw man he's setting up.
Yes.
He thinks that Republicans want basically just to cut your wages, and that's how they're going to get out of inflation.
Yeah, he's going to lower your cost by spending another $1 trillion.
And capitalism without competition is exploitation. He says that like he's living in a freshman dorm. He keeps saying it. But the fact is, who hates competition? It's the left. They're the ones that are removing competition from education. So education without competition is exploitation.
Spoken like a sophomore in college.
Yes.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.